I chose peace over a paycheck, and yes, I would do it again. Not because I didn't need the money. We all need money to survive. Not because I didn't work hard for it, but because the cost of keeping it was me. My health, my sleep, my relationships, and most importantly, my peace of mind. And at some point I had to ask myself, what's the real price of this lifestyle? And the answer, it hit hard. Everything that actually matters. If you're new here, my name is Naisha Nicole, and if you've seen my face before, you know that we are 100% locked in, and this is a channel of honesty. So let's talk about the lie that many of us was raised to believe. If the money is good, then you're supposed to stay. As if somehow a paycheck is supposed to be enough to keep you sane, or to keep you satisfied, or to keep you spiritually aligned. But here's the truth that nobody will say out loud, because we are a channel of honesty. So I'm going to say it. Money can't fix broken environments. It can't. It can't make toxic people kind. It can't. And it can't replace the hours, the energy, and the identity that gets swallowed whole when, your job owns you. It can't do any of those things. I was working at a well-known facility, at a prestigious facility. I worked a well-paying job. I had a title, I had a check, I had the benefits. And from the outside, it looked like I had it made. And that's the truth. People were clamoring to be in the position that I was in. But on the inside, I was anxious, I was irritable, I was detached. I was counting the hours in the day like I was serving time in a penitentiary. That's what I was doing. I'm keeping it real with you. And it's like you start waking up tired even after having a full night's sleep. I did that a lot. I mean, that's not exhaustion. That's misalignment. And there was a moment, a very specific moment, that basically changed everything for me. Again, I was always working back to back multiple shifts, and I was always emotionally drained, physically exhausted, but still pushing through because the money had a vice grip on me. The money was so good that it was like I didn't want to let up not even 1 second. And that's my fault. It's my fault. I got in the car, sat in the driver's seat, and I was just staring at the wheel. I didn't cry. Not because of sadness. I was numb. That's what I would say. I became numb. Nothing about that life I was living felt like mine. It didn't. It felt transactional or robotic, maybe. That's what it felt like. And I realized I was truly trading my presence for a paycheck. I was. And I often like to listen to different podcasts and what have you. And one day I was listening to Myron Golden and I can't remember exactly which video it was, but he was talking about basically trading your time for a paycheck. And that's why you find it hard to achieve your goals. It's like, I thought about that, and it was like I had become a machine, and no amount of direct deposit was worth it. Not anymore. So it's like I had to ask myself a very scary but very powerful question. I had to ask myself, what if peace is more profitable than performance? And that was a tough question, because my entire thought process was built on being the best. It was built on achieving as high as I possibly can, rising from the ranks in this company to literally cleaning shitters to becoming a nurse practitioner. And that's what my journey was, right? And so let me ask you something. I want you to be honest with yourself. Have you ever stayed in a job or a relationship because it pays well? And let me tell you about the relationship bit. The relationship, maybe it feeds you emotionally, like it's a crutch, right? So answer that for me. Let me know in the comments. I want you to use one of those like woosah, one of those yoga emojis. Put one of those yoga emojis in the comments if you've ever felt like you were selling your peace for a paycheck. Let me know, even if it was draining you. And the thing about it is you're not alone. You're definitely not crazy, because there's so many people that do that exact same thing. And again, I'm not saying I have it all figured out. It's not about having it figured out. It's about recognizing where you are. Because the only way that you can change it is for you to recognize it, right? And walking away, it wasn't easy. I have 3 other videos, and I'll link them in up here somewhere. 3 other videos that talked about me walking away and how tough it was. People questioned me. People are still texting me and questioning, what am I gonna do? Like, you can't possibly just walk away. What about money? Are you sure you're gonna be able to afford to leave? Like, those are the things that people put these things in your head to stop you from doing the thing that is right for you. Those are all valid questions, yes. But there are better questions to ask. How are you mentally, maybe? How are you spiritually, emotionally, physically? Like, those are better questions to ask, and not, oh, are you really going to throw away all those years? But the thing about it is that this is the part that, like, no one talks about. I'm not going to say no one. I haven't seen it where people actually talk about money isn't always abundance. It's not. Sometimes abundance is freedom. Sometimes it's quiet mornings. Sometimes it's just the time that you have to be able to breathe. Sometimes it's the ability to be able to make a decision without fear. Abundance can be many things and not money. And the minute that I chose peace, I realized something wild, something crazy. My creativity came back. I began having all of these ideas and the things that I want to talk about on this channel to help high achieving women. High achieving women go through their process. My energy came back. I feel like I became whole. I came back because I wasn't in survival mode anymore. I felt like I was finally living. And the thing about it is that people mistake all of that for it being perfect. No, I mean, every day isn't perfect. Every day hasn't been perfect. But at least I knew every day was mine. At least I knew that. At least I knew that I wasn't going to wake up and have this fear or anxiety about going to a place that was so toxic that it was causing me my mental health. And we don't talk about that in healthcare. Like, there are a lot of nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, physicians that are literally having mental breakdowns in the healthcare system because the system is so broken in so many ways. And there's not one way that can fix it. There isn't. I mean, all you can do is continue to help as many people and touch as many people as you possibly can, because the system isn't built that way. It just isn't. But yeah, I mean, that was my trade. My trade was being able to be peaceful. That was my trade. And I wouldn't undo it for anything. I wouldn't. And let me be clear on this. I want to make sure that I'm very clear when I say this. Peace is not free. It's not. And I don't want anybody to confuse what I'm saying. Peace comes at a price like everything else. You will have to give up something in order to get it. You just will. Maybe it's money. Maybe it's your old identity. Maybe it's the version of you who is addicted to overworking and outside validation. Maybe that's the part that you'd have to give up. But believe me, for anything that you want in this life, there is a price to be paid. But here's what you do gain. You gain clarity. You gain alignment. You gain self-respect, self-worth, and a life that finally feels like yours, where you're able to make these decisions that you feel like is going to be best for you, and you're not stuck in this job. Because the funny thing about it is that we spend years chasing success. I know I did, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. We spend years chasing something until we realize that it's not success and it's slowly killing us. And like the new version of success, and people talk about it all the time. You will see countless videos. The new version of success is peace, freedom, and fulfillment. And you can fact check me on that. The new version of success, I promise you, are those things, and those things are priceless. They're priceless. You can't recreate that, right? And the thing about it is I didn't leave money because I didn't need it. I mean, like I said, we need money to survive. I left it because I needed me more. I chose myself over staying in a toxic situation, regardless of how much money was attached to it. I remember my last conversation with one of the physicians, and I told him I just needed time off. And he asked me, well, how much time do you need off? And maybe it's something that we can do in order to give you the time that you need off. This was at my old job in order to keep me. And with a straight face, I told him, there's not enough time that you can offer me that would align with the time that you guys feel like I need off. There's not enough. We're not on the same page. It's just not enough. And then another physician said, well, how much money would it take to keep you? And I said, that's an interesting question. And he was like, why is it an interesting question? He was like, I'm serious. He was like, we're going to make this happen. You name your price. And I told him with a straight face that you could hand me a blank check and tell me to write my price down on it, and I still wouldn't stay. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because once you tell them how much it would take for you to stay, you have sold yourself down the creek and you don't even know it. Once you tell them a price, they got you. once you say it would take this much to keep me, then they know that they could do whatever they want with you after that, because they gave you the price that you asked for. And I'm sorry, but your peace is there's no price tag on it. So I told him that they could write me a blank check and it still would not be enough to keep me here. It wasn't. And you know, I'll say this: if you're standing at a crossroads, like right now, if you're standing at a crossroads between money and your mind, between a paycheck and your peace, I want this to be your reminder. You're allowed to choose you. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying don't, again, create an exit plan. I'm not saying that. But the moment you choose you, that's the moment you'll start creating a plan that's going to be more beneficial to your peace of mind moving forward. My plan took 2 years, but yours might take 6 months, or yours might take a year. It doesn't matter. But you are allowed to choose you. So tell me in the comments what peace looks like for you in this season of your life. Let me know in the comments. And even if it's small, I want you to name it, I want you to claim it, and I want you to normalize it. And if this resonated with you, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, because if you've made it this far, you know you want to subscribe. Share this with anybody that needs to hear it, because I know that there are people out there that needs to hear this message, especially with someone who has been silently struggling to choose themselves. Because honestly, I look at it like the world needs more people who are no longer willing to trade their light for a paycheck. Is the truth. That's what the world needs. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, share this with anybody. My name is Naisha Nicole. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate all my subscribers. I appreciate you if you're new and you've watched this whole entire video. I thank you so much. Again, my name is Naisha Nicole. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace.